Hi, I'm Kat, and I hope you can endure my sore throat voice for just another video. Hopefully it will be done after this. Today I made for you a tree that lights up. I hope you enjoy. I'm using a stick from outside. You can also use a wooden dowel, but because I wanted the very top of the tree to be shown, I wanted to use something that looked natural, and there's nothing more natural than a stick. I chose one from outside that was about 7.5 to 8 inches long, and then I made a simple base out of polymer clay. This lighting, this LED light that I got on eBay, but someone tells me that you could purchase these at Target at the dollar spot for $1. And then I simply wrap my lights around the tree. Now this tree has green coming out of it because I made this originally as just a tree and tried to put the lighting on the outside. Don't do that. Just don't do that. Don't even try. Don't bother. I promise you it's not going to work. Don't do it. So now that I've saved you some time, you could use the Lycopodium that you had for the last video with the wreath and the garland, and then going ahead and strip the strap down to the very woody base. You're going to use the woody base first as a support system. And then I'm also using an empty roll of masking tape or painter's tape. This roll is going to help be a support system, and it's also going to help me keep in line how large the diameter of the tree is going to be. So you want to center your tree with the light wrapped around it right there in the middle, and then start gluing on the woody branches. You can use E6000 or super glue or hot glue for this, whichever glue you prefer. I chose to go with a super glue gel only because where I wanted to use a hot glue, I didn't want to play around with cleaning up the threads. And the same with the E6000, sometimes that leaves little threads as well. So once you have the base of the woody support systems filled in, take some of the larger branches of the Lycopodium and you want to put that all around the sides. You could layer it between the branches, and that way also they're being held in place by both the base of the tape and by the woody branches. And as you go on to the second level, a second layer, you can make them slightly shorter by cutting off the very ends of it, and then you want to stagger them in between. This project is the easiest if you take a look overhead from periodically. That way, as you're building this up in layers, you can make sure that you don't have white peeking through underneath. And in this one, I'm about halfway up the tree at this point. And as you can see, I've greatly reduced the size of the original of the sprigs that I'm using. They're about half the length that they were when I first started. And then here, I'm about 2 inches from the top. And I'm now applying individual sprigs. Now with the individuals, I want to make sure these are all tilting upward. So down toward the center where I'm gluing them, and then holding them in place just slightly for them to tilt upward just a little bit. Keep it sparse towards the tip, and then you could add one little sprig at the very top of the tree. You could trim the tree using the tape as the guide, and then start decorating with, I just used some simple Christmas balls that I shaped out of polymer clay, and then I covered in paint and glitter. And I did these the same way I showed you in the Wreath and Garland video. And also I'm using this metallic thread. Now metallic thread, either embroidery or any other, is usually like a little plasticky layer that wraps around a cotton layer. So you want to pull the plasticky layer apart from the cotton layer and throw the cotton layer away because that has no metallic shine to it at all. And I'm also using these multicolored micro beads that I've poured a little glue into a dish and then stirred up the micro beads with the glue and just put those on in little clumps all over the tree. Of course, you can have fun and decorate your tree with a few more details like ribbons or other types of ornaments or whatever you like, but I wanted to keep mine fairly simple. And then for the battery box, I'm using this generic kind of gold wrapping paper. It has a pattern on it, but it's a pattern that will translate into miniature as well. But because it's difficult to find patterns that translate into miniature, I have a little cheat for you, and that is that you can use a spool of curling ribbon. And this spool of curling ribbon will have some patterns that are a little more, that lend a little better to miniatures, as well as textures and things of that sort that you can use. So I made miniature boxes out of cardboard and then wrapped them with curling ribbon. And that way I had little miniature fake presents to go under my tree. And put everything together, and this is what you have. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye.